Hey guys, Michele Nichols here, coming at you from my brand new rebranded YouTube channel, Michele Nichols Acts, Sings, Reviews. So on this channel, I act, I sing, and I review. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think. I'm an actress and a singer, and I also do movie reviews. And on this channel, I share all of that stuff. So you'll see playlists with my acting stuff, my singing stuff, and then of course my YouTube reviews. So if you could like this, share it with your friends, subscribe, and ring my bell so you never miss a notification for when I do an upload. I'd really appreciate it. I also add things all the time, shorts and things like that I don't own the rights to, but that I performed in, and I add them to playlists all the time. So adding the notification bell for everything will let you know when I add into those as well, not just when I upload, so you don't miss anything. This is a small channel and I'm really wanting to build it and monetize it, so I'd really appreciate any help that you can give me. That said, let's get into the review. So Unhinged stars Russell Crowe, and I have to put her on in the editing because I can't remember her name, but she's a New Zealand, a Kiwi. She's a New Zealand actress, and this movie is pretty straightforward. It's kind of 90s-esque, almost kind of throwback action kind of movie. It is about a single mom who is running late to drop her kid off at school and gets a little frustrated with the guy in front of her who's just sitting at a green light and he won't go. She lays on the horn, cuts him off, flicks him off, all the things, and he wants her to apologize and she won't do it. And so he decides he's going to give her the worst day of her entire life. Little does she know this man is an absolute psychopath and will stop at nothing to completely ruin her day in all the worst possible ways you could, including like maiming and murdering the people she loves. So, it's road rage gone bad. And I went into this movie really, really unsure of what it was going to be like, but I was like, well, you know what? The movie theaters are opening back up. And I was literally the only person in the theater. Granted, I did choose like midday on a Friday, and I did that on purpose because I don't like a lot of people in the theater with me, and it worked. Yeah, there was like nobody in the theater. And this movie really surprised me. I was expecting something really cheesy. It had its moments, but in a fun way. Not expecting it to be a good movie at all, honestly. But the ticket prices are so cheap at this theater that's really close to me, especially now that they want to, encourage people to come back. They've lowered their prices even more, and I don't see movies for free yet. So I was like, okay, I'll blow $6. We'll see what happens. And I was really surprised. This movie was fun. It was full of action. It was like non-stop adrenaline. An hour and 35 minutes was a perfect runtime for this movie because it was non-stop pulse-pounding action. This was also directed by the same person who directed Disturbia as well as Red Eye. So this director seems to be really good at capturing action and a whole story that happens in one day. Both of those movies are movies that were not revolutionary, but were really highly enjoyable films, and this one's no exception. On the edge of my seat the whole time. Russell Crowe was absolutely freaking brilliant in this. He just chewed the scenery. He gained a lot of weight for this role. I don't know if he was just already big or if he did it for the role, but it fit the character well. The girl was also very good. All of the smaller, parts. Her son was really good. He was Jimmy Simpson's in a small role. Even the actors whom I didn't know the names of, like local New Orleans actors, they were good as well. Like everyone got a good part. Everyone got something interesting to do in this film, including like the extras. had to react to some really crazy shenanigans by Russell Crowe, and just a fun movie. I mean, this is an escapism movie, and I think a lot of us right now aren't driving. So it's almost like you can watch it and be like, I'm safe at home, it's okay. But it's also a warning, be really careful about who you road rage on because you don't know what they're going to do. I mean, stuff like this happens. I've witnessed some crazy stuff where people were trying to swerve and knock each other out you know, out of bounds and get each other, you know, I don't know what they were doing. They're trying to cause an accident. I'm just like, chill, they cut you off, get over it, move along. But some people just get angry and, you know, stuff like this movie happens. A few things, the girl was kind of a couple steps behind me. I kept on saying, you know, do this, do this, do this, and then she wouldn't. And I'd be like, you idiot. Sometimes aloud, because again, I was the only person in the theater. And then she was like, oh, never mind, I'll do the thing. And I'm like, yeah, you should have done that a little while ago. Why didn't you? Her son was very smart, was a lot smarter than her. Russell Crowe was very smart. That's always good to have a really smart villain. I don't like dumb villains. And there was just a little like kind of weird tag scene at the end of like most of the plot of the movie that they added in there that I thought there was kind of a jump scare and something. And I thought it was kind of unnecessary, and it kind of cheapened the movie. It's like, let's just tag with this little jump scare and a little, you know, obvious one-liner kind of thing. And I'm just kind of like, why did you do that? You're kind of insulting the audience's intelligence by doing that. And it's like, we get the premise, we get the lesson to learn, okay? In this movie, you know, you don't have to like tag it like that, like a commercial. So it's called, in a commercial, the last line of a commercial is called a button. And so yeah, it didn't require a button in this movie for us to get, yeah, be nice to strangers, be nice to them, don't be rude, because you don't know who you're dealing with. But all in all, this really strong performances all throughout, really action-packed, edge of your seat, great car chase sequences, perfect runtime for what we were working with. It kind of reminded me of like Changing Lanes. Definitely worth the $6 price I paid for it. The rating for this movie would be... It was a really enjoyable first time back to the movie theater, so if you get a chance and you don't have to drive, you know, 100 miles to your nearest Cineplex, I would highly recommend it. Really excited about the movie theaters being open, and excited for more movies to be released. I'll still be doing streaming reviews because there just aren't as many movies being released right now, and there's tons of great stuff on streaming. I'm so happy that's kind of revolutionizing the industry. AMC also has a deal where they're going to release things at 17 days after it comes out in the theater. They're going to release Universal Pictures video on demand after. That's really exciting. So for anybody who's not comfortable going back, or you can't because they're shut down, there are lots of options for you on this channel. I've re-uploaded or am currently re-uploading everything from my other channel on here. There's also a lot of oldies but goodies to go through in case you're wondering about some other movies you might catch on Netflix or somewhere that it's been on your queue for a while but you haven't seen, but I have. Definitely check them out. Anyway, you guys, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, all the things. And let me know below, like, what is your favorite kind of guilty pleasure action movie? Like, it doesn't even have to be good. It just has to be like, I don't know, I love it. Just for some reason, I love it. And I'll see you guys next week.